Hey, Troy, it is so nice to see your face.
Hey, Abby, good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Of course, thank you for joining me. So, I'm trying to help out some of the people that might be considering either buying or selling their home right now. And I think one of the things that most people are probably curious about, and they probably hear a lot about it on the news, are the mortgage rates, interest rates
Yeah,
right now. Can you tell me
yeah,
about that?
absolutely. Yeah. So mortgage rates are great right now. So this is a little bit of the silver lining that we have and everything that people have been going through over the past couple of months.
Right.
So the 30-year fixed rate now is at 3.25. We're seeing the 15-year fixed rate at about 2.75. You imagine that? I mean, a rate with a two in front of it. So
Have
these
you
rates
ever
are,
seen that in your 20 years?
geez, it's probably been 10 years.
Okay.
So it's been a long time, but these rates are phenomenal right now, and definitely something for buyers to consider taking advantage of, once we get back to work here later part of this week.
So those numbers sound great, but what does that actually mean over the term of a loan? Like how much savings would
Right.
that be?
Yeah. So let's look at it in two parts. On a monthly basis, if we were to take interest rates a year ago at 4.25, which at that point we thought those were good,
That was
um,
amazing, right?
it- right? And let's just use a loan amount of 250,000. And let's compare that to current rates at 3.25. So on a monthly basis, it's about $150 per month in savings with the cheaper rates in today's environment. So that's great on a monthly basis.
Yeah,
But if
that's
we look
nice.
at, yeah, and if we look at it over the length of a 30-year term, you're seeing over $50,000 in interest savings. So that's some big time
That is a
savings,
significant amount of money,
right?
especially if
So
you're looking at a $250,000 house.
right.
Saving 50,000 over the period of the loan is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important for people to see that, the monthly savings is great and is definitely something that is enticing. But even, when you stretch it out and look more long term, I mean, those interest savings over the life of the loan are great.
Okay. And so how does that help or how does that impact a buyer's purchasing power?
Yeah. So when a client goes to get pre-approved and we're using the current rate environment today, if we take kind of that same example as far as looking at a purchase price of 250,000, if that client applied a year ago and maybe they were qualified for a purchase price of 250,
Mhm.
in today's lower rates, they could qualify for a purchase price of about 300,000. So you can see again that lower rate is really adding some benefit to a buyer's purchase power where they can afford a little bit more of a house in today's environment.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that's exciting. So tell me, where do you see the interest rates going? I know right now everything's going on. The interest rates are great. You know, s- Spring, if you're in Michigan, hopefully is here for
Yeah,
good.
right.
And then the summer, where do you see those going? Do you see those rising and how quickly? I mean, I know you can't see the future, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah. So, right now we are seeing the mortgage rate environment settle down a little bit. From about mid-March to early to mid-April, we saw volatility on a daily basis where we saw rates, it was like a yo-yo. Rates were in the low threes and then high threes and low. So we've seen things settle down into a little. The investors and everybody are kind of getting back to running their businesses and investments a little bit more uh, what we're used to. Um, so I think that we are projecting that rates are going to be in this range for some time. So when
Okay.
I say some time, is
Yeah.
that going to be a couple months? I think so. There are some people right now that are actually forecasting that the 30-year might actually get into the twos. So we could see even a
Wow.
little more of a dip in rates. So definitely something to look forward to and to keep an eye on as we get into the summer months here. Are we going to see a 30-year fixed at 2.875? There's a chance.
That would be exciting. So, I mean, if
Yeah.
you've been thinking about buying, now is the time. I mean, I would say if you were thinking about it and you were getting close to being ready and you didn't know, I'd say jump on it, because now would be an ideal time to do that.
Yeah. It's if you're ready to go, there's you're never going to see a mortgage rate environment this attractive for you. So definitely some incentive to forge ahead and make that offer and get yourself into a great rate with a good payment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Troy. This is my buddy, Troy Bergman from John Adams Mortgage, and he's amazing. So thank you so much for joining me, and you always give great information, so I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Abby. Good seeing you.
Bye.